I think from a skills point of view, the first place to start is really in terms of when people ask me, what skills do I need? It's the position in which the person asking is. So if you're a software engineer, for example, and you want to get into legal tech, of course you know all the technology, the skills that you need to improve around understanding, legal practice and how the law works to a certain degree. So when we're talking about skills, it's always worth thinking about, skills for who. There's a big difference between a trainee and Paul and Andrew, for example. But I'd sort of like to break it down into the sorts of skills that are required by law students, the sorts of skills required by trainees or junior lawyers, and the sorts of skills required by lawyers more generally. And my focus tends to be, or our focus at BPP tends to be very much around legal tech, in the sense of not specific bits of technology. We're not in the business of training somebody how to use this bit of software or that bit of software, for various reasons that I'll come to shortly. So first of all, in terms of law students, what are we trying to do for law students? Of course, they're right at the beginning of their career. They've got to learn a whole lot of other stuff. They've got to learn, all about the law. They've got to learn all about legal practice and be ready to go to, Clifford Chance or whoever and make some money. And there's relatively little time on any law syllabus to deal with legal tech. You'll see different universities doing different things in this area, but there certainly isn't the opportunity to train lawyers in specific bits of technology. So the focus really from a law student point of view is encouraging interest. It's getting students to become aware of this world, become aware of the world of technology and how technology is used on a day-to-day basis, which Paul and Andrew have alluded to. This is part of day-to-day practice. This isn't something in the future. This is something they should be aware of. We try and teach law students of some of the concepts involved: artificial intelligence, data analytics, process mapping and improvement, automation, these sorts of things, but also beyond, as I mentioned before, beyond legal tech. So having a growth mindset, innovation, openness to new technology and new ways of doing things. And hopefully with law students, we encourage people to look beyond I suppose more traditional careers, or look into other things that they can do. And of course, one of the things I always do is encourage people to join legal tech meetup groups and attend events like this. For example, I asked my students, I'm not sure any of them are online at the moment, but I asked my students to come and hear from the people on this conference. So we've got the law students, very limited in terms of the time. Then you've got trainee solicitors, junior solicitors. Here the focus really has to be on whatever the law firm does. So of course, law firms will provide training and specific bits of technology. But from our point of view and from the professional development point of view, it's really much of the same, but perhaps more detail in terms of learning about practical aspects of legal tech. So I do a 1-day program. It's not very much at all, but a 1-day program called Legal Tech: The Practical Aspects, which is a kind of a roller coaster ride through tech and innovation, and that helps trainees get a handle on some of these concepts, data analytics, how AI works, talking about some of the opportunity or some of the options out there in terms of technology. So that's one I think is useful for more junior lawyers, and of course they've got the hands-on experience of using whatever tech they have in house. Paul listed a whole bunch of different stuff in his presentation. Then for I suppose for more experienced lawyers, not necessarily actually, it depends what, but beyond that, um, there's a discussion between, there's a big difference between learning about legal tech and learning about technology more generally. And I think it's important that lawyers understand that they become, sort of digital savvy. They learn about using things like Excel, for example. They learn about using, the software that their businesses already have. And so I think there are two parts to the sort of the skills piece. One piece is that you need to make sure that lawyers understand how to use technology generally, and there are plenty of lawyers that don't, or need to ask somebody else. The second piece is learning about legal tech. But for an experience, for someone who's 10-15 years qualified, the starting point is really to see what they're like in terms of using things that they already have access to, to Power BI and to their, the systems that they use in house. Are people, are they using the technology? And then the second part is to look at, skills around using those specific bits of legal technology. So broadly speaking, that's the approach that I take. You need different kinds of skill training and different kind of knowledge depending on the level you're at. But the thing that the theme that runs through it all, from my perspective, especially as a very much a non-techie lawyer who's had to learn all this stuff, is the first step is to engender some level of interest. Now, for law students, that level of interest is kind of, wow, look at this whole world. Look, go and find Paul and Andrew on LinkedIn and see what they're up to. Go to legal hackers meetups and this kind of thing. And then there's that level of interest which is more commercial, which is the partner in the law firm who goes, oh my goodness me, it's fallen on my shoulders to finally start dragging my firm into the 21st century. But either way, it's about getting interest first of all, and then building up skills training around that.